What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for another episode of the Premier League Spur-Spective, where we take a look at the weekend's games and put a bit of a Spurs spin on it. Well, to be honest, not much of Spurs spin on it on any of these games anymore. But we'll review the games, and obviously we have our scores on the doors, which are 110-98. It is 5 points for a correct scoreline, 1 point for a correct result. And let's see if Simeon can claw anything back this week. We're going to start off with Leicester against Newcastle this week. I went 2-0, Simeon went 2-0, but the score was 4-2 to Newcastle.
Yeah, what a result that was for them. Obviously, pretty much confirming their safety. Well, now we know for sure has confirmed their safety. And you got to say, they really have come on strong in latter parts of the season. Ever since they got Wilson and St. Maximin back in the team, and Joe Willock as well, has really provided some contributions in that final third. And you got to say, fair play to him. Great win. Awful result for Leicester in their battle to keep their top four spot. But Newcastle are safe.
Yeah, credit to Steve Bruce, credit to Newcastle, because at one point it did look like they were definitely going down. And since then, pretty much since they played us, they've turned it around completely.
Have become a lot harder to beat, and then that pace on the counter has meant that teams have underestimated them going forward. And Wilson, especially St. Maximin, he's been really great player for them over the past few weeks with his pace. So 4-2. And you've got to say they was well deserved. They were 4-0 up as well.
Yeah, mad. Let's move on to Leeds against Spurs. Obviously, everyone knows what it finished. Yeah. Sim went 3-2 to Spurs. I went 3-1, so that's 5 points to me. No, I'm kidding. I went 3-1 Spurs. But it finished 3-1 to Leicester. Look, we got completely smashed, didn't we?
We did. And it was that was a massive blow, considering the other results as well. In hindsight, I mean, I know Chelsea won and Liverpool won, but with West Ham losing and Leicester losing, if we would have won this weekend, that door's still open, but that door's firmly shut now. And we have to kind of fight tooth and nail even to get a top 6 spot, let alone top 4. So even that's looking unlikely at the moment. And it was an awful result. At 1-1, you're thinking maybe we can go on and push on and get something from the game, but Leeds were by far the better team and well-worthy winners.
Do you make anything out of Ryan Mason's comments saying that, if that goal was allowed, it would change the game?
Excuses. This is what Mourinho was doing, making excuses for us. Oh, this penalty was given, it was a different game. And I get it, goals do change games, but you can't have such a weak mentality where you have a goal ruled out offside and you're blaming that and saying that affected you. Like, you got to be stronger than that. And I feel like after that goal got ruled out, we fell apart.
Yeah, completely. Sheffield United against Crystal Palace finished 2-0 Crystal Palace. We both went 1-0, so we both get a point there. So the scores are 99-111 now. Did you see much of this one? Because I didn't see any of it.
Didn't see any of it. I'm not going to spend my time watching Sheffield United Crystal Palace, to be honest.
Especially straight after that Spurs Leeds game.
Oh yeah, I don't want to watch any football off that Spurs game. But look, fair play to Palace. Keep the another one for them. Eze, I saw the goal.
Yeah,
Eze
what
scored.
A goal.
Unbelievable. And people are still on social media kind of criticising, again, our recruitment for not picking up on Eze when...
He was so cheap.
He only went for, I think, 15 million or something. So definitely could have been gettable. And he's got bags of quality. But, fair play to Palace.
Manchester City against Chelsea, which was the big tie of the weekend. It finished 2-1 to Chelsea. You going 1-1. I went 2-1 to Man City.
But 90th minute winner.
Did Man City still win the league, or they haven't won the league yet?
No, not yet.
No, they haven't won the league yet. One more point still.
One more point and they've won the league. Great win for Chelsea. That pretty much solidifies them in the top 4 now. If they would have lost this game, then it still is quite wide open. But with after Aguero with that Panenka completely screwing up just
Aguero.
Time. Oh man, that was absolutely horrific, and I can see Guardiola being furious at that. But in what was a dress rehearsal for the Champions League final, it was an impressive display from Chelsea. Both teams kind of did rest a few players. Chelsea started the likes of Billy Gilmore and stuff, and Marcus Alonso, and City starting the likes of Aguero and Jesus, who don't usually start in these days. But it was a decent game. And I think Chelsea definitely came on strong in the second half, and by the end of it, probably just about shaded it. But I'm just very annoyed because that 90th minute winner stopped me getting 5 points.
Yep.
Just about.
Just about.
But it was a good winner by Marcus Alonso.
Yeah.
And Chelsea were really strong again.
Yeah, Liverpool against Southampton finished 2-0 to Liverpool, both of us going 2-1. So we both get a point there. So it's 100-112 now. So we're just going up together at the moment, it seems.
At the moment. At least I've gone past the 100-point mark now.
Finally.
Come on. I'm getting there. But good one for Liverpool. First goal for Thiago. Nice finish from the
really nice goal,
edge of the area. And that keeps them as well in the hunt for top 4. I think they've got a massive game for them against Man United in midweek. If they win that game, I think all of a sudden they become favourites over Leicester. Yeah,
I think it's a massive game for Liverpool, much bigger for Liverpool than it is for Man United. But Man United will really want to spoil their party, I think.
Definitely will.
But let's move on. Wolves against Brighton finished 2-1 to Wolves. You went 1-1. I went 0-0.
Another 90-minute goal.
Another 90-minute goal that cost you 5 points. But did you see much of this one?
I saw bits of it. I know Brighton played pretty well. They were actually the better team throughout the game, but that red card from Lewis Dunk after he'd given them the lead kind of cost them quite badly, and then Wolves seemed to turn it around late on. A nice goal, I don't know if you saw from Adama Traore, a really nice goal, and then Morgan Gibbs-White with the 90th minute winner. And I think, again, Brighton, another performance where they dominated the opposition, were the better side, but ended up without the result. And that's been the story of their season for a lot of it, but at least they're safe now.
Yeah, it's actually mad to think that they've only won 8 games all season with the good football that they've played this season.
I know, it hasn't represented how good they've been, I think, their position. And I think, again, they were unlucky this weekend.
Aston Villa against Manchester United. I went 3-1. Well, it finished 3-1 to Man United, and both of us going for 1-1. Man United pulling out a result again. Yet again, result after result after result.
Yet again after going behind. It's unbelievable, really. Absolutely unbelievable how they keep getting those results from going behind. I think they now have set a record for the most times a team has gone behind and won a game.
Oh, really? Is that a record?
And keeps their unbeaten run away from home as well. Very impressive, really impressive. I thought in the first half, again, they were poor, but they turned it around. It happens. It's like a plan. I've never seen it. Like they planned to be poor in the first half.
I can't remember who said it, but someone came out and said, like, Ollie just tells us exactly what we need to hear at half time, and he must be one of the best motivational coaches.
Honestly, the way
going at the moment.
It's incredible the way they keep pulling out results like that. And fair play to him. Cavani as well, who just signed a new contract as of yesterday, getting the third goal right at the end. And fair play to Man United, sealing the top 4 consecutive Champions League seasons for the first time since Fergie left.
Is that right? First consecutive years of the Champions League since Fergie left?
Top 4 finishes, yeah.
Wow.
For the first time. And they've got a lot of games this coming up, so they needed to get that win out of the way to prevent any sort of slump.
All right, let's move on. West Ham against Everton finished 1-0 to Everton. Both of us going for a Desmond 2-2. But you've got to give credit to Everton because they pulled out a result which they kind of needed, a detriment to West Ham's top 4 hopes. Yeah,
West Ham looked sluggish, and you got to say Everton defended really well. I watched this game, and Everton definitely deserved the win. I thought, West Ham dominated possession, but never looked like scoring. Everton kind of got the goal and just sat back and rode out any sort of pressure.
I felt Everton looked good in the first half, and second half they really did just shut up shop and try go for those 3 points, just claim that 1-0 all the way.
They never looked like conceding. That's the truth. They never really did look like conceding. Lingard was quiet. Antonio was kept quiet. And they kind of, I know 1-0 is a slender scoreline, but they defended so resolutely. It was kind of comfortable near the end, and really good win for them. And now they're a point behind us with a game in hand, so that we could.
So they're going to beat us to Europa Conference League.
Yeah, it looks like it at the moment. They're going to knock us out Europa and put us in the Europa Conference at the moment. They're playing Villa in midweek. If they win that game, then they're above us.
In what space? Where will they go into?
8th, 7th. We're 8th.
Oh, 7th is Europa Conference League.
No, I think it's Europa because I think whoever depends who wins the FA Cup. I think.
Is that right? Because I thought it was 5th and 6th going to Europa and then 7th going to the Conference League.
No, I think there's only one spot in the Conference League. I don't know. I'm confused, to be honest. I'm pretty sure 7th might, because if Chelsea win the FA Cup, I think 7th will go down to Europa.
Right. All right.
Because another league.
Yeah. No, you're right there. Arsenal against West Brom finished 3-1 to Arsenal. You getting it absolutely spot on with a 90-minute goal, giving you the 5 points this time, right?
Yeah, exactly. This time on the opposite.
I went 1-1, so that's it. The scores is 105, 112. So you're getting some points back on me there, but it's not going to last. We all know that.
it'll definitely. Yeah, it's not going to last. I'm going to overtake you.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
But fair play to Arsenal, relegating Sam Allardyce for the first time, and Arteta talking at the end of the game. If one of his ambitions between now and the end of the season is to finish by Spurs, and he said,
Did he say that?
Huh?
Did he say that?
No, he was asked about it. He said, yeah. He said it is. Yeah, he said it is. He said it's really important.
Really?
He did. He said it's actually really important, and he said these things can't be overlooked, and that is one of our ambitions between now and the end of the season.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because their fans try to take the opinion, it doesn't mean anything to us finishing above Spurs, even though we finished above in the last 5 years. But how many do we need to seal the spot?
It's 4 points. It's 4 points with 3 games to go, so 9 games to fight for. So we need 5 more points. And then 2 wins.
Arsenal got quite an easy last few games.
They do. Where was I'm trying to find the quote, but he did say one of the ambitions is to finish above Tottenham between now and the end of the season.
To be honest, at this stage of the season, when there are no ambitions left, I guess you got to cling on to something, don't you? Let's move on to the last game of the weekend. Fulham against Burnley, finished 2-0 to Burnley, with Fulham going down. You went 1-1, I went 1-0 to Fulham, and that's it. That sealed the relegation for this season. So Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield United are down, and they are all going back down to the Championship.
Yeah, and I think Scott Parker at the end of the day will be very disappointed with how the season's played out, because I think they got themselves in a very good position at one point to fight to stay up, and they were on a good run, playing well, and then I think they were pretty much almost level on points with Newcastle and the teams above them. But unfortunately, they couldn't keep up, and they let themselves. I think they let themselves down. I think
all 3 teams will be quite disappointed. Sheffield United will be disappointed just for the abysmal season they had, and it did look like at some stage the form was turning for Sheffield United, but they were never going to stay up, in my opinion. They always left themselves with too much to do. West Brom, they also got themselves into quite a good position where they could have stayed up with only a couple of points out of the relegation zone.
No, I think at one point they were never that close.
I thought at one point they were, but.
They weren't. I think they were like at one point like say 5 points. They were never like 2. But they were on
good form,
they had,
and it looked like they were gonna kind of.
When they beat Chelsea 5-2 and they beat Southampton 3-0, it looks like maybe if they could keep this up, they could.
And then they beat Man United a few weeks later as well.
They drew Man United. Yeah. So it looked like at one point they had a decent chance, but Fulham, I think, will be the ones really annoyed with how they let their position of strength slip away, and ultimately they couldn't sustain any sort of performance. And the amount of points they've now finished away from 17th will be very disappointing for them. And I think Scott Parker will be angry with how things have played out, because I think Fulham should have stayed up, in my opinion, by where they were. I think they should have.
All right, well, that is the end of the Premier League Spur-Spective. Shall we give them a few predictions for this week? Do you think they're lucky enough? Do they deserve the predictions this week?
If only if I can overtake you, then yeah.
So probably not then. But we'll give it to them anyway, because we love you. We are Tottenham TV Army out there. But let's move on to the predictions. Manchester United against Leicester. What have you gone for?
Gone for 0-0.
0-0? I've gone for 2-1 to Leicester.
I think Man United are going to rest a lot of players, and I think Leicester obviously need a win. But I feel like Leicester are in a bit of a slump at the moment. And I don't know. I just got to feel like 0-0's got written all over it in this one.
I fear it's going to be a bit of a dull game tonight. I think, like you say, Leicester are in a bit of a slump, but I do think Man United are going to rest a lot of players tonight, and I think Leicester will have their tails up, looking at the team lineup that they're going to put out. And I think Leicester, like you say, I think they need a result tonight, and I think they'll get it. Southampton against Crystal Palace. I have gone for 1-1.
1-0. I've gone 2-1 Southampton.
Oh yeah,
2-1 Southampton. I've gone for them to win. I just think they'll get the result. They're attacking team. I know they played badly against Liverpool on the just the week just been, but I think they have been a bit better recently, Southampton, and I back them to get the points in this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be another one of those dull games with both teams literally nothing to play for. So I think it will just play out in a 1-1 draw. Next one's a big London derby, Chelsea against Arsenal. What have you gone for?
I've gone for 2-1 Chelsea, but I think potentially I might be wrong, because Chelsea, I think, with the FA Cup final coming up on the weekend, very likely they're going to rest a few players, but their squad is so strong, it might not even matter if they do.
I think they will rest a few players, but I think even resting a few players, I still think they come away with the 3 points there. I've gone for 2-0. I can't see Arsenal getting anything out of this game, even if Chelsea do rest a few players. I think Arsenal, whenever they've come up against a decent side, similar to us, I think they've just fallen flat on their faces. I mean, they beat Man U early on in the season. They got a draw. No, they beat Chelsea early on in the season under Frank Lampard as well. But with this Chelsea side, with Tuchel in charge, I can't see Arsenal getting anything from this.
Okay.
Villa against Everton. I've gone for 1-0.
I've also gone 1-0.
1-0 Everton.
Yeah, I feel like Villa, without Grealish, without Watkins, they're going to really struggle to get any sort of attacking impetus in this game. They're going to struggle to get any goals, I think. And Everton, I think with Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, they're always likely to get at least one, especially away from home. They've got really strong away form. So I go on them to shade it 1-0.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very similar to the West Ham-Everton game in the week. I think, like you said earlier on the video, that Everton defended resolutely, and I think they're going to try and put out a carbon copy performance and nick a goal and then see out the game. Manchester United against Liverpool, which is going to be an interesting one. I have gone for 3-2 to Man United.
3-2 to Man United. I've gone 2-1 Liverpool. I think Liverpool will shade it, especially Man United's home form isn't as good as their away form. Liverpool's away form is a lot better than their home form. So I don't know. I just got a feeling Liverpool are going to be well up for this. I think they're going to have sniffed an opportunity for top four, given the results how they went on the weekend. So I think they're going to be more motivated than ever. And also, how Man United, having played just a couple of days before, I'm sure there'll be a lot of rotation, but that could disrupt rhythm as well. So I think Liverpool shade it 2-1. Yeah,
in a game like this between two such big rivals, I think the form book does really go out the window for these kind of games. So when you look at it, I think Man United will rest quite a few players for this Leicester game. So I think that the players will be a bit more fresh for this Liverpool game. Liverpool, you never know which Liverpool side are going to turn up, to be honest. You really don't. So I think this game is going to be packed with goals. But I think Man United will just edge it, trying to spoil Liverpool's top four hopes. Let's move on to Newcastle Man City, which is the last game of the week on Friday night. What have you gone for?
2-0 City.
2-0. I've gone for 2-1. I think Newcastle will nick a goal. I think, Man City are going to win the league this week. They're going to win the league.
Definitely, yeah. I think in my opinion, they would have won the league before this game's played. But I think there should be a feel-good factor.
What do they need to do to win the league before this game's played?
I think Man United drop points, I think.
Against Leicester, and that's it.
Yeah, I think so. In either of the game, I think. If Man United drop points in either game, then that's it for them. So I think, I can't see Man United winning both, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Man City, though, I'm sure there'll be a bit of a feel-good factor, and I'm sure they'll come away with the win. Newcastle, though, as well, feeling quite good about themselves. But I saw them against Arsenal as well last week, and they were putting a woeful performance that game. So I think they'll lose this one.
Who, Newcastle put in a woeful game?
Against Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, yeah. I know they beat Leicester 4-2, but I think that was a real big performance. I don't think they can recreate that against City.
All right, well, that is it. That is our predictions for the midweek clashes. Let me know in the comment section below what you think the scores are going to be this weekend. Let me know in the comment section below who you think is going to come on top this week. Is Sim going to carry on his revival, or am I going to take another storming lead? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.